Why strong men don't need constant validation. Why do some men constantly seek approval, while others seem completely comfortable walking their own path? One man posts every achievement online, hoping people notice. Another quietly works toward his goals without needing applause. One changes his opinions to fit in. The other respectfully stands by his values, even when they're unpopular. What's the difference? It's not arrogance. It's not pride. And it's certainly not believing you're better than everyone else. The difference is where they get their sense of worth. Many people spend their lives depending on external validation. Compliments, likes, praise, approval, recognition. When they receive it, they feel confident. When they don't, they begin doubting themselves. But real confidence doesn't work that way. The strongest men don't refuse compliments. They simply don't depend on them. Their confidence comes from something much deeper. Today, we're exploring the psychology behind validation. Why so many people crave it. Why it can quietly control your life. And why emotionally strong men learn to build their confidence from within instead of constantly searching for it in others. Let's begin. Number 1. Seeking constant validation gives other people control. Imagine waking up in a good mood. You feel productive, focused, confident. Then someone criticizes you. Suddenly, your mood changes. Your confidence disappears. Your entire day feels different. What happened? In that moment, you handed someone else control over your emotional state. Now imagine a different person. They receive the same criticism. Instead of reacting immediately, they ask themselves, is this feedback useful? If it is, they learn from it. If it isn't, they move on. Notice the difference. Their emotional state isn't determined by someone else's opinion. That's emotional independence. Strong men understand something important. When your self-worth depends entirely on what others think, your peace becomes fragile. Because opinions change, approval comes and goes. But your values shouldn't change every time someone disagrees with you. Number 2. Approval is temporary, character lasts. Think about the last compliment you received. It probably felt good, but how long did that feeling last? A few minutes? A few hours? Maybe a day? Then life moved on. That's because approval creates temporary emotion. Character creates lasting confidence. Imagine two men. The first constantly needs reassurance. He asks, "Did I do okay? What do you think of me? Do you approve?" The second asks a different question. Did I give my best effort? Did I stay true to my values? Did I handle that situation with integrity? The first depends on external opinions. The second evaluates himself by internal standards. Over time, the second man develops something much stronger than approval. He develops self-respect. Number 3. People respect those who don't chase acceptance. Have you ever noticed that people who desperately try to fit in often struggle to earn genuine respect? There's a psychological reason. When someone changes their personality to please everyone, others begin wondering who that person really is. But someone who remains respectful while staying true to their values appears authentic. Authenticity creates trust, and trust creates respect. This doesn't mean becoming stubborn or refusing to learn. It simply means your identity isn't built on pleasing every person you meet. Strong men understand that not everyone will agree with them, and they're comfortable with that reality because they know disagreement isn't the same as rejection. Number 4. Self-validation builds real confidence. Imagine finishing a difficult project. Nobody notices. Nobody applauds. Nobody congratulates you. Would you still feel proud? If the answer is yes, you've discovered something powerful. Self-validation. It's the ability to recognize your own effort without waiting for someone else to recognize it first. This doesn't mean ignoring feedback. Feedback helps us grow. But there's a difference between appreciating encouragement and needing it just to believe you're doing well. The strongest confidence comes from quietly knowing, I kept my word. I stayed disciplined. I improved, even if nobody else saw it. That's a confidence that circumstances can't easily take away. So far, we've explored why seeking constant validation gives other people power over your emotions. Why character lasts longer than approval. Why authenticity earns more respect than people-pleasing. And why self-validation creates lasting confidence. But the next lessons reveal something even deeper. Because they explain why emotionally strong men don't compare themselves to everyone else. Why they welcome criticism without being controlled by it. And why the most confident people are often the least concerned with proving themselves. Number 5. They don't compare their lives to everyone else's. One of the fastest ways to lose confidence is to measure your life against someone else's highlight reel. Today, it's easier than ever. You open your phone. Someone bought a new house. Someone else got promoted. Another person is traveling the world. After a few minutes, you start asking yourself, am I falling behind? But here's the problem. Comparison rarely shows the full picture. You see the success. You don't see the years of failure. You see the celebration. You don't see the sacrifices. Strong men understand that life isn't a race against everyone else. It's a commitment to becoming better than they were yesterday. Their competition isn't the person across the room. It's the person they were last year. That mindset brings peace. Because your progress no longer depends on someone else's achievements. Number 6. They welcome feedback without depending on praise. Many people confuse criticism with rejection. The moment someone points out a mistake, they become defensive. They argue, or they shut down completely. Strong men see feedback differently. They separate the message from their identity. Imagine someone tells you, you could have handled that conversation better. An insecure mind hears, I'm a failure. A confident mind hears, here's an opportunity to improve. That's a huge difference. Emotionally mature men don't fear constructive criticism. They use it because their goal isn't to protect their ego. It's to become better. At the same time, they don't let unfair criticism define them either. Not every opinion deserves equal attention. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Number 7. They don't need to prove their worth. Have you ever noticed how some people constantly remind others of their achievements? They mention their income, their job title, their connections, their accomplishments. Almost every conversation becomes an opportunity to impress. Now think about someone who rarely talks about those things. Yet when people ask about them, others speak highly of their character and their work. That's because genuine confidence doesn't need constant advertisement. When you're secure in who you are, you don't feel pressured to convince everyone else. Your actions begin speaking louder than your words. And over time, people trust what they consistently see more than what they repeatedly hear. Number 9. They protect their inner peace. Imagine two men receiving the exact same insult. The first reacts immediately. He argues, raises his voice, spends the rest of the day thinking about it. The second listens, pauses, then asks himself, does this person's opinion actually define who I am? If the answer is no, he lets it go. Not because he doesn't care about people, but because he refuses to let every opinion disturb his peace. Strong men understand something most people never learn. Not every opinion deserves an emotional response. The more control other people have over your emotions, the less control you have over your own life. Inner peace is one of the greatest forms of strength, and protecting it requires emotional discipline. Number 10. They keep promises to themselves. Confidence isn't built by repeating positive affirmations. It's built by keeping promises. Think about it. Every time you tell yourself, I'll wake up early tomorrow. I'll finish this project. I'll go to the gym. And then you follow through. You send yourself a powerful message. I can trust myself. But every time you repeatedly break your own promises, your self-confidence slowly weakens. Not because someone criticized you, but because your actions no longer match your intentions. Strong men understand that self-respect begins with self-discipline. Before they ask other people to trust them, they become someone they can trust. That quiet habit creates confidence that doesn't depend on applause. Number 11. They focus on purpose, not attention. Attention feels exciting. Purpose creates fulfillment. There's a big difference. Many people chase attention because it provides a quick emotional reward. More likes, more compliments, more recognition. But attention fades quickly. Purpose lasts. The strongest men wake up asking, what needs to be done today? Not, who will notice me today? Their satisfaction comes from progress, from contribution, from becoming better. Ironically, when people stop chasing attention, they often become more respected because others recognize genuine commitment. Purpose gives your life direction. Attention only gives temporary excitement. Number 12. Their identity comes from their values. Imagine losing your job tomorrow, or your social media account, or your status. Who would you be? For many people, their identity is built almost entirely on external things. When those things disappear, so does their confidence. Strong men build their identity differently. They value honesty, discipline, responsibility, integrity, kindness, courage. Those qualities can't be taken away by circumstances because they're choices, not possessions. When your identity is rooted in your values, you become far more resilient. Life may change. Your principles don't. The real meaning of strength. Many people believe strength means never needing anyone. That's not true. Strong men appreciate encouragement. They value healthy relationships. They enjoy recognition when it comes. But they don't depend on those things to feel worthy. There's an important difference between appreciating validation and needing validation. One is healthy. The other quietly gives away your freedom. Real confidence isn't saying, I don't care what anyone thinks. Real confidence is saying, I'll listen to wise advice, learn from honest feedback, but I won't let every opinion decide my value. That's emotional maturity. If there's one lesson I hope you remember from this video, it's this. The strongest men don't build their confidence on applause. They build it on character. Every promise they keep, every difficult decision they make, every time they stay true to their values, every time they choose discipline over comfort. Those moments quietly strengthen their self-respect. And self-respect becomes the foundation of lasting confidence. The world will always have opinions. Some people will support you. Others will criticize you. If your confidence rises and falls with every opinion, you'll spend your life chasing approval. But when your confidence comes from living according to your values, something changes. You become calmer, more focused, more resilient. You stop trying to impress everyone, and you start becoming someone you genuinely respect. Ironically, that's often when other people begin respecting you too. So don't ask, how can I get more validation? Ask a better question. Am I becoming the kind of man who no longer depends on it? Because the strongest men aren't strong because everyone believes in them. They're strong because they continue doing what's right. Even on the days when nobody is watching, nobody is applauding, and nobody is telling them they're enough. In the end, that quiet confidence is far more powerful than any compliment the world could ever give. Click the subscribe button, like, share, and follow for more.